I'm thinking of making my own Linux distro. I'm going to call it Dark Linux. Hello there. Today we are diving into my ultimate Linux distro, and I will walk you through the key requirements that make it the perfect fit for my needs. So if you're looking for a solid, user-friendly distro that checks all the boxes, stick around. Alright, before I get into the specific software I like to have, let me tell you the basic requirements I need from any Linux distro I use. First off, it has to have GNOME or be based on GNOME. I love the simplicity and the clean interface of GNOME, and it just works for me. Next up, Wayland support. I'm all in for Wayland, and it's a must for my setup, as it offers smoother performance and security over X11. It is also necessary for running a few other apps that I need on my system. Now, I'm not a fan of automatic updates. I prefer to update when I want to, not when the system decides. So a distro without automatic updates is a must. When it comes to package installation, I need it to be straightforward, no complicated oops to jump through. I also want to be able to install packages offline. You never know when you are going to be in a spot without internet access, right? I also need my system to be a rolling release OS. I like to stay on the cutting edge and get the latest updates without needing to reinstall or upgrade to a new version every few months. Speaking of installing, it should be possible to install offline, in case I'm setting up my system without a reliable internet connection. And driver support, especially for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, is non-negotiable. No problems with hardware, please. Now let's talk software. Here's what I expect out of the box, or at least be able to install easily. First off, I need Audacity for audio editing and Kdenlive for video editing. Both are fantastic open source tools that I use regularly. I also need GIMP for my graphic design needs. It's a great alternative for Photoshop. Next up, for virtualization, I need either GNOME boxes or VAT Manager. Both are easy to use and get the job done. Another must-have is Wordroid to run Android apps on my Linux system. Then there is the torrent downloader. I prefer Qubit torrent, but transmission or fragments also work. For media, I rely on VLC or other media players like celluloid or MPV. I also need a screen recorder that works seamlessly with Wayland. If you want to know more about the best screen recorders for Wayland, check out this video. Of course, I need a good terminal because, let's face it, Linux without a terminal isn't really Linux. And to keep things fun, I also use FastFetch or NeoFetch to show off my system info in style. Then for text editing, I'm a fan of Gedit or Kate, both lightweight and easy to use. I need a solid file manager that is either Nautilus or Thuna. They both work great for me. And of course, a disk partition manager like Disks or Gparted to manage my partitions in case I decide to dual boot or resize my current partitions. For browsing, I need at least 4 web browsers. I use Firefox as my default browser, then Chromium and Brave, but I also keep Opera, Vivaldi, and even Tor browser handy. I like to keep track of my system with a resource monitor or a task manager, just to see what is going on behind the scenes. Another nice touch is an ambient sound app like Blanket. It helps me focus and relax while I work. Finally, security is key, so I make sure to have a firewall, preferably UFW. So, after going through that list, can you guess which Linux distro ticks all the boxes for me? Leave your guess in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.